Hi, everyone. I hope you are having a great day so far. So I thought I would make this quick video because I see a lot of questions all over the internet and social media pertaining to the cost of having a professional do your taxes. In a lot of online communities, I will often see business owners asking for a professional that is thorough, proactive, and affordable. So I thought it would be a valuable exercise to break down one, the different levels of service offerings that you're going to run out into in the wild, and two, the difference between tax preparation and tax planning. That way, hopefully you can make a more informed decision and know a bit more about what to expect when you're looking for your next tax pro. Now, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Dave Lewis. I'm a certified public accountant and the owner of High Impact CPA. We help business owners see greater profits, pay less in taxes, and take back more of their precious time so that they can realize their dreams and spend more time doing what they love. So, a few things to get out of the way first. All individuals and businesses in the US need to file an annual income tax return. There's no getting around it, unfortunately. Now, I also posit that everyone wants to pay as little in taxes as legally possible. And, sometimes illegally, but we're not going to go into that here. We play by the rules here. So it's actually within these two parameters that there is a little bit of dissonance between what tax professionals are actually offering and what clients have an expectation of receiving. So the clarity really comes from what I've identified as these six key points. What is tax planning versus what is tax preparation? The business model of the tax professional or the firm that you're working with, the level of complexity that your situation entails, the level of proactivity that your professional is willing to offer, the level of expertise that your professional is bringing to the table, and the level of service that you actually want to receive. So let's talk about tax preparation versus tax planning first, because I think it's the two are the most often conflated. So tax preparation focuses more on the compliance work. It's making sure that the tax return forms are actually completed and then sent into the taxing authority for processing. It's very reactive in nature. It's taking what already happened, putting it into a form in the correct way, which is that's the important part, right? Correct and timely, and getting it where it needs to go. It's very reactive. Now, tax planning, or you can call it tax advisory, tax strategy, it's focused on the future. It's proactive. So your professional is going to look at your situation and put together a plan for you that can be implemented to save the most taxes possible based on whatever goals that you're hoping to achieve. So most of the time when people are actually really looking for tax planning, even though they're talking about tax preparation. So, I mean, of course they are. Paying taxes sucks. And the problem is because there's this expectation gap, clients are often disappointed when all they get is a set of forms and a hey, see you next year kind of thing. That's the dissonance that I was talking about earlier. So, another important thing to note is the actual business model of the tax professional or the tax firm that you're working with. How a firm conducts business and makes its money is going to tell you a lot about the type of service they're going to deliver. Is the goal of the firm to get as many clients in the door and pump out as many tax returns as humanly possible? Or is the goal really to build a deeper long-term advisory relationship with their clients? One is going to be less expensive, but you're not going to receive the same level of personal touch for your situation. Now, neither business model is inherently bad, it's just different. It simply depends on what you want out of the professional relationship. Do you want something more akin to a big box firm, your H&R Block, that is going to take your numbers, they're going to plug and chug with it, and they're going to submit the tax forms with the authorities, and there you go. It's going to be, hey, we'll see you next year. Or are you wanting a firm that is going to put a little more time and thought into the work and not just hold your hand, but really advise you on what the best course of actions are going to be, both in the short term and in the long term? So there's a whole spectrum across all different firms of what that actually is going to look like. So I would ask your tax professional what that scope looks like, and it should be well defined. You should know what you're getting when you sign up with a tax professional. Next big thing to consider is going to be your level of complexity. There's a lot of correlation between how much complexity is involved in your taxes versus how much you are going to pay your professional. A person that has a small proprietorship business, only working for themselves, no employees, has a couple of rental properties, is going to look a lot different both from a preparation and a planning perspective, than a person with a bunch of different businesses, multiple partnership interests, foreign activities, lots of asset sales, purchasing a business. More complexity means it's more time for us and more expertise that is needed to properly advise you on your situation. So, the level of proactivity is also important. Do you want to meet with your professional once a year at tax prep time and just get it done? Do you want to meet once a year to go over light projections? Or do you want to meet maybe quarterly or even monthly at a way deeper level and develop implementation strategies? Have your professional look at all of the updates that are coming out through the year. We just had a huge tax bill passed this year, and it's going to affect a lot of business owners. And if you're looking for preparation only, you're probably not going to hear anything about it, if at all, until next year. So just understand that the level of proactivity is going to affect you quite directly in your cash flow. The level of expertise that you're looking for is also going to make a big difference. Can't speak today. So, did you know that for someone to prepare taxes in the US in exchange for payment, all you have to do is get a PTIN from the IRS? That's it. Joe Schmo down the street can go and get a PTIN and be a tax preparer tomorrow with no formal training or expertise. So it's important that you do your research into who you plan on using before you get started with them. Too many people are getting their taxes done right now by people who are really not qualified to do them just to save a little bit of money in preparation fees. So, are your taxes going to be overseen by, say, a tax attorney or a CPA? People that have to have at least a master's level of education, pass a bunch of rigorous exams, and be licensed in the state in which they work, and are required to take a large number of continuing education hours this year. And it's the same thing with an enrolled agent, right? An EA. They've got to pass exams. They've got to do continuing education. There are a set of standards that have to be upheld by true tax professionals. Now, if your professional doesn't hold some form of designation, please make sure to at least understand if they have years of experience in with tax preparation in their practice or with tax planning. Because guess what? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who prepares your return because you, as the taxpayer, are responsible for it. You're going to sign your signature on that thing. And when, if an IRS audit occurs and someone has to pay extra taxes, it's not the preparer that's responsible, it's you. So make sure that you are getting someone trustworthy. And finally, it's really up to the level of service that you want to receive that can make all the difference. Do you want to be able to call your tax pro and get a response within the same day, or heck, even a week? I've heard people saying, "Man, my guy hasn't gotten back to me in 3 months. I sent this stuff in and they're dropping the ball. I ask about something and they say, oh yeah, we need to do that. And it's like, well, I gave that to you months ago. So you need to make sure that you're working with someone that's going to match the level of service that you expect. So if you have a question, are they going to make themselves available to you? There's a major change during the year, like the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Are you going to get updated projections? Are you going to have an implementation plan that you can work on before year end? Or are you going to lose those tax savings? Is it just, do you care? Do you want a once a year plug and chug? There's really no wrong answer. It's what you want. So just to give some context, let's take a quick look at TurboTax's full service done for you business return preparation option. So this is just preparation, no planning. So this is for S corps, partnerships, and I assume C corps. I'm not quite sure if TurboTax does C corps, but anyway, for a federal only return done for you, no states, $1,749. That's TurboTax. So this is that plug and chug situation I was talking about. They'll prepare the return based on the numbers you give. They may get some clarifications from you, but there's not going to be a deep dive into things if things look odd or inaccurate, or if there's something that you didn't take advantage of that you still could. So In contrast, for our business returns, we start preparation at 2,100 a year, and that includes your state. It includes one state. And we're going to be making sure as we go through that you didn't miss anything. We're going to be looking for future opportunities, and we're going to want to build a year-over-year relationship with you where you have a dedicated professional that you're working with year over year over year. It's more important for the long term because we're going to understand your situation. We're going to understand what happened last year. Whereas with some of these other big box options, you're going to get someone new. People move on from these jobs all the time. Again, there's really not a wrong answer. It's simply what you prefer. What level of care do you want? So anyway, hopefully this video provided a little clarity about tax services and the difference between planning and preparation. If you did enjoy the video, please feel free to subscribe, leave a like, ring the bell, all the good YouTube stuff. If you'd like to see what high impact CPA can do for you, we do offer free consultation calls just so that we can get to know each other a little better. I want to know if I want to work with you. My team wants to know if they want to work with you, and you want to know if you work with us. It's got to be a good mix. So there will be a link down in the description if you're interested in setting up one of those calls. For everyone else and you, thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Enjoy your weekend.